It certainly looks like a great deal, but before you sign anything, keep in mind that there are 8 problems with the Ford Escape you must know. Ford's compact crossover is undoubtedly a good car, but it comes with a few drawbacks that may change your mind. Are these issues too much for you? Stay with us to find out. Number 8. Cheap interior and base trims. The Ford Escape's cabin tells 2 very different stories depending on which trim level you're considering. While higher trims manage to deliver a reasonably attractive interior with decent materials, the base models present a completely different reality. The entry-level configurations are dominated by hard plastic panels that immediately scream budget-conscious manufacturing. Walk into a base Escape and you'll immediately notice the pervasive use of materials that feel more appropriate for a vehicle costing several $1,000s less. The dashboard, door panels, and center console all suffer from this cost-cutting approach, creating what many reviewers describe as a second-rate interior experience. What makes this particularly frustrating is how the Escape's pricing doesn't reflect this compromise. The base model starts at a price point that's actually above average for the compact SUV class, yet delivers interior quality that falls well below segment standards. When you're paying competitive money but receiving materials that competitors like the Mazda CX-5, Honda CR-V, and Kia Sportage have moved beyond, it becomes clear that Ford is asking buyers to accept less for their money. Number 7. Disappointing handling. The current Ford Escape represents a significant departure from its predecessors in terms of driving dynamics, and unfortunately not in a positive direction. Earlier generations of the Escape were praised for offering a more engaging driving experience than many competitors, but the current model has abandoned those characteristics entirely. What drivers experience now is what reviewers consistently describe as a low-adrenaline driving experience that feels disconnected and uninspiring. The steering system is particularly problematic, offering very light and low-effort operation that lacks the precision and feedback that confident driving requires. Many drivers report a dead-at-center feeling that makes highway driving less reassuring and city maneuvering less precise. This isn't just about enthusiast preferences. It's about basic driving confidence that affects daily usability. The suspension tuning presents its own set of contradictions. While some professional evaluations praise the ride quality as surprisingly good, others criticize an overly firm setup that creates harsh impacts over mid-corner bumps. This inconsistency suggests that Ford attempted to create a sportier feel, but instead delivered a compromise that satisfies neither comfort nor performance priorities. Number 6. So-so acceleration with hybrid powertrain. Ford's hybrid powertrain in the Escape delivers impressive fuel economy numbers. There's no question about that achievement. The system manages up to 39 miles per gallon combined for the conventional hybrid and an exceptional 100 mpg for the plug-in variant. However, these efficiency gains come with a significant trade-off that becomes apparent the moment you need more than gentle acceleration. The hybrid system's power output was actually reduced from 200 horsepower to 192 horsepower in 2023, a change made specifically to improve efficiency. While 8 horsepower might not sound significant on paper, the real-world impact is noticeable. Testing reveals that the Escape Hybrid requires 8.5 seconds to reach 60 miles per hour, which places it in merely adequate territory rather than genuinely competitive performance. The continuously variable transmission compounds this issue by failing to keep the engine in its optimal power band during more aggressive driving situations. Even when drivers select sport mode, the system doesn't deliver the responsive acceleration that many expect from a modern powertrain. What makes this especially challenging is how the hybrid system feels peppy during gentle around-town driving, but reveals its limitations when more substantial power is required. Number 5. Underpowered and unrefined base engine. The foundation of the Escape's powertrain lineup is a 1.5-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder engine producing 181 horsepower. While this engine provides adequate acceleration for basic daily driving needs, it consistently draws criticism for feeling both underpowered and surprisingly unrefined for a modern powertrain. The 3-cylinder configuration creates inherent vibration issues that become particularly noticeable at highway speeds. Professional reviewers consistently describe the base engine as somewhat grumbly and suggest it needs to go to finishing school to achieve acceptable refinement levels. These aren't minor quibbles about perfection. They're fundamental issues with how the engine feels and sounds during normal operation. Owners report experiencing vibrations that make the engine feel like it's struggling, particularly when maintaining highway speeds or climbing moderate grades. The 8-speed automatic transmission paired with this engine adds another layer of refinement issues. The transmission exhibits jerky shifts upon startup and generally produces abrupt and noticeable shifts throughout its operation. What's particularly telling is how automotive reviewers consistently recommend upgrading to the 250 horsepower turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder to achieve what they describe as a zippy power plant. This recommendation essentially admits that the base engine isn't truly satisfactory for a broad range of driving needs. Number 4. Bland styling. The current generation Ford Escape underwent a comprehensive redesign for the 2020 model year, but the results have been consistently criticized for lacking visual distinction. The design team pursued what they described as a sleeker, lower profile that moves the vehicle closer to hatchback proportions rather than traditional SUV styling. While this approach might appeal to some buyers seeking a more car-like appearance, it has resulted in what many observers describe as generic and forgettable styling. The exterior design fails to create the kind of road presence that many SUV buyers are seeking. Compared to the previous generation, which shared design cues with Ford's larger, more rugged SUVs like the Explorer and Expedition, the current model feels diminished and less purposeful. This styling direction represents a fundamental shift away from the SUV identity that many buyers expect. Number 3. Transmission issues. Perhaps the most concerning aspect of owning a current-generation Ford Escape is the persistent and widespread transmission problems that have affected models across multiple years. These issues range from minor operational annoyances to complete transmission failures that leave owners facing substantial repair bills. The problems affect both the 8-speed automatic transmission used with gasoline engines and the continuously variable transmissions found in hybrid models. Owners consistently report symptoms including abrupt and noticeable shifts, jerky operation at startup, and downshifts that feel like multiple small shocks. These aren't isolated incidents, but represent systemic issues that suggest fundamental problems with transmission design or manufacturing quality. Professional testing confirms that the 8-speed automatic shifts slowly and exhibits jerky upshift behavior that affects daily driving comfort. The scope of these problems is significant enough that Ford is currently facing a class action lawsuit concerning various transmissions used in the Escape. The lawsuit alleges fundamental defects causing symptoms such as shuddering, delayed acceleration, and power losses. Many owners report that these critical failures often occur around or just after the expiration of the vehicle's warranty period, leaving them responsible for repair costs that can average around $4,000 for a complete replacement. Number 2. Sound insulation. The Ford Escape's acoustic refinement represents a significant weakness that becomes increasingly apparent during highway driving and longer journeys. Owners and professional reviewers consistently report excessive intrusion from both road noise and wind noise, particularly at higher speeds. Some consumers have specifically noted whistling from the doors and even the sound of interior plastic flexing and rattling at highway speeds. The level of cabin noise is disappointing for a modern compact SUV, with some owners comparing it unfavorably to smaller, older Ford models. One owner noted that the road noise at higher speeds is probably comparable to my old Focus SEL, indicating that the Escape's acoustic isolation falls short of expectations for a vehicle positioned higher in Ford's lineup. Some plug-in hybrid models exhibit additional specific issues, with wind noise being notably louder on the driver's side. This has been attributed to missing sound-dampening foam between the engine bay and the driver's side door sill in certain units. The persistent cabin noise significantly impacts the overall ownership experience, particularly during longer drives or highway travel. Number 1. Mediocre cargo volume. The Ford Escape's most significant practical limitation is its comparatively restricted cargo space when measured against direct competitors in the compact SUV segment. While the vehicle offers a functional interior layout with a low floor and high seatbacks that allow for decent vertical storage, the actual cargo volume consistently falls short of class standards. The Escape provides 34.4 cubic feet of cargo room behind the rear seats, expanding to 65.4 cubic feet with the rear seats folded down. A direct comparison with key rivals immediately reveals the Escape's disadvantage in this crucial practical area. The Honda CR-V offers significantly more space with 39.3 cubic feet behind the rear seats and 76.5 cubic feet with seats folded. The Toyota RAV4 provides 37.5 cubic feet and 69.8 cubic feet respectively, while the Hyundai Tucson offers an impressive 41.3 cubic feet behind the rear seats and 80.3 cubic feet when folded. Even the Kia Sportage surpasses the Escape with 39.6 cubic feet and 74.1 cubic feet of total cargo capacity. Only the Mazda CX-5 offers less space behind the rear seats at 29.1 cubic feet, but its maximum cargo volume of 59.3 cubic feet remains competitive with the Escape's offerings. The limited cargo space stems from the Escape's design choices, particularly its sleeker, lower profile that prioritizes exterior styling over interior utility. For consumers who frequently transport luggage, sports equipment, groceries for a family, or require versatile storage for various activities, the Escape's cargo limitations represent a significant practical disadvantage. In a segment where utility and versatility are primary selling points, offering meaningfully less cargo capacity than most rivals can be a decisive factor that steers buyers toward more spacious alternatives. But despite these drawbacks, the Escape is still a very good SUV with many strong points. Still, if you're looking for a class-leading level of engineering excellence, then you will definitely want to check out this video about the next generation 2026 Toyota RAV4, which you can now see on the screen. Toyota's compact crossover is getting a full redesign with improvements in pretty much every critical aspect.